Hi, we're Deb and Phil from Creatives en Route.
And we're going to tell you about the things we've learned in our first month of YouTube.
Yes, that's right. 1 month ago, we launched our YouTube channel and we've learned a lot.
Cheers.
All right, so today we are going to get into the nitty-gritty of everything that we have learned over the past month of starting our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and it's been a lot, so we're going to hit some high points for you.
Yeah, just a few of our top things I would say that we've learned. And we're going to break it up into two kind of topics, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, the first one we're going to talk about is about filming, because we've definitely learned a lot, because we've never really done filming before. So
I took a broadcast class in high school.
I take it all back. We're experts at this.
Doing really well.
Yeah. So the second thing we're going to talk about, though, is logistics.
Mm-hmm. There is a lot that goes into the back end of starting a YouTube channel that I, quite frankly, did not realize until we were like jumping in and doing it.
Yeah. And yeah, so let's get into it.
Okay. So I think the first thing that we have learned, and something that has helped, I would say, like maybe mitigate a few, not arguments, but discussions in the moment, is having a plan for the video that you're going to film.
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever we first started, I definitely thought quantity will eventually yield quality, and that is not true. It is really hard to edit videos with just a lot of information and not having had a plan for how you want to tell the story.
Absolutely. Even if you're just doing a vlog style video where it feels like you're showing kind of like, you know, the details of what's going on in the day, you really have to be aware of how you're filming to make sure that you're telling the story and not missing pieces of like, how'd you get from point A to point B, or what are you doing today? So I think we realized later on sometimes that we forgot to film a couple of things that would have been really helpful.
Yeah, and whenever we're trying to edit it, it feels really choppy or really jumpy to go straight from one thing into the other without having had some sort of plan about how you're going to get there, how you want to bring the audience along with you.
Yeah. So before you film one, just kind of think through what your plan is going to be for what you want to accomplish or what you want to tell the viewers through the video.
Yeah. So the second thing we learned through filming is that B-roll is really, really important, and it really helps you tell that story a little bit better.
Absolutely. Again, it really kind of emphasizes what you're talking about and takes your viewers on a journey through what you're seeing or through what you're talking about, especially for visual learners. I think that kind of breaks up a video and makes it more visually engaging, but also really helps like tell that story through what you're seeing on the screen.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've done in our editing is to extract some of the audio from these kinds of conversations and putting in B-roll clips to help tie things together. So we might mention something about the monkeys that we saw in Costa Rica, and then we put in a clip about that. So then as we're saying it, a person who's watching the video will see a clip of the monkeys in Costa Rica.
Yeah. B-roll is also helpful at masking things, like if your camera falls or something, you can put in some B-roll and help kind of make that a little bit more seamless.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good Band-Aid for some of those mistakes that happen along the way.
The third thing we learned, and it's something we're still learning, is that there are lots of audio issues that come with filming videos. So early on in the process, pretty much from the beginning, we decided to buy a couple of mics. They're Ceramic mics, and they've been really helpful in helping us get a clearer sound. But sometimes you're just in really loud situations or loud environments, and it's hard to figure out how you can get a good, clear sound without having all of that background noise in it. And I think it's hard to make sure that your audio, your sound is or volume is matching somebody else's, and that the volume of your clips are matching. So it's just a lot of sound work that we're still kind of figuring out.
Yeah, absolutely. one of the things that was important to us was having like a wireless mic, but we also don't want to show it a lot to where it's distracting in videos. And we need to be, as you can tell. But we also need to be close enough to the camera, to pick up different things. There's just a lot of things that go into trying to have good audio. And it's one of the things we're still working out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So the fourth thing that we've learned in filming is to go ahead and use what you have. So we do have a DSLR camera, but we're not using that for filming because it's not really set up best for that. But what we also have are our cell phones. And phones have really good cameras, part of them. And they're in our pockets all the time. So it really makes filming accessible to us.
Yeah. Eventually, I think, hopefully as our channel grows and stuff, we'd like to upgrade some of our gear. But using what we already had and the cameras that we already had at our dispense have made it like just a low entry point to getting started on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. And again, because it's always with you, it's really a lot easier to go ahead and grab some of those B-roll clips or some of your main clips whenever you're in a cool place that maybe you didn't know you're going to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, our fifth filming related thing that we've learned, I think, is gonna sound super cheesy, but it really is to just kind of show up as yourself or be authentic in your filming. It can be awkward to be in front of the camera. Like speaking for myself, I've been a portrait photographer for a while as kind of a side hustle, and I'm used to being behind the camera. I'm not used to being in front of it. And so there's been a learning curve to trying to figure out how to represent myself in a way that feels true to me and not awkward in front of the camera.
Yeah, for sure. And we've both had public speaking opportunities in the past, and being in front of a camera is just a different kind of thing.
Completely different. Yeah.
So it is surprisingly hard to come across really authentic in front of a camera, but I think it's something that we're trying to get better at.
Yeah.
Let's move on now to some logistic things that we've learned about YouTube and trying to grow this channel.
Yeah. So first, let me just kind of set the stage for some of the things that you have to do, like starting up YouTube. So it's really easy. Obviously, you just have to have a Gmail or a YouTube account. That part, super, super simple. Some of the things that I think have been a little bit more tricky are making your channel cover photo. This is something I didn't realize. You have to have a cover photo that is sized for a mobile device and then a desktop computer. And because so many people watch YouTube on their TVs, you also have to have one that sizes up. So it has to be one image that the full image shows up on the TV, then this part of the image shows up on your desktop or laptop, and then this part of the image shows up on your phone. So figuring out the specs for creating that was a little bit difficult, but I used Canva, which has a lot of templates for that. So that's, a barrier to set up. And then also one of the main things I think that I've learned is that in order to have clickable links in your description, you actually have to get verified in addition to creating your account with YouTube. They have several ways that you can go about doing this, but if you don't have an account that's super established, really the easiest way to do it is submitting your ID, which can feel a little weird, but once you do that and go through that verification process, it helps, make sure that you're a legitimate person and not recommending weird links.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the other things that we've learned about logistics with YouTube is that there's a difference between subscribers and watch hours. So we're trying to use YouTube to help kind of grow some of our income with travel and to make it a little bit more sustainable alongside other things that we're doing. So as we've gone, we've had some goals with growing our subscribers and growing our watch hours. And we thought that those two things were going to go hand in hand, but they don't always do that.
Yeah. I think it's important to note that subscribers are people who want to keep seeing your content. They're people who are engaged in you and your story and the type of stuff that you're doing. Whereas watch hours come from that too, but you really get those boosts in watch hours from videos that are searchable and that have some sort of virality. And so that's a very different style of video. You know, to grow your subscribers, you want to have videos that are, you know, like are that more authentic kind of storytelling and people are getting invested in you or your mission, that kind of stuff. Whereas those watch hours really come from those really optimized videos where you are helping answer questions or giving people information they want to know.
Yeah. So we hope that this video will do a little bit of both. So.
Yes, please subscribe. That is the biggest way that you can help support us in our channel and our attempt of growing this kind of thing that we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So the third thing that we've learned is that the growth to monetizing your YouTube channel is really a climb, and sometimes it's a slow climb at that.
Yeah. So as of today, we have made a total of, drumroll please, $2.14.
Yeah.
That $2.14 has come specifically through affiliate marketing. So where we have put links in to recommend the products that we already use, and people who are visiting our website or our YouTube channel are being redirected to those links and purchasing something through them.
Yeah. And so, you know, we've seen some stories of people who are starting to make significant amount of money in like a short period of time, but I don't think that that's the case for most people. I think it's a much slower climb up to monetizing and to getting some of those subscribers and getting those watch hours up. So be prepared that if you are going into YouTube or that you're hoping to turn it into a full-time job, that's probably going to take longer than you think.
Yeah, it definitely does. And a caveat to that $2.14 is that I spent a lot of time building a website in the month before I started the YouTube channel. And so I had a platform to house all of those links and all of those recommendations. And so I think that you kind of, like, in order to really build up that affiliate marketing, it's nicer if you have some sort of platform other than that.
Yeah, and let me go ahead and give a huge shout out to Dev because she has built all of this back end stuff, and I've done very little with that. But she has really, really taken the reins on doing that. And whenever you see a video like this, I hope you know that there's a whole web of information and building blocks that went into building what we have and what you see, even though our channel is pretty small right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Phil does all of the editing of these videos, so don't let him fool you. He is still putting in a lot of work too.
So the other thing that we've learned is that promotion takes time too.
Yes, it definitely does. So if you launch a video, you obviously want to get it out to all of the people who know you, who support you. And so in order to promote it, it just takes a lot of time getting all of those links out, putting it in all of the places that you want to put it. So I think that that is something that I maybe underestimated how much time it would take.
Yeah. And for me, whenever I finish editing a video, I want to kind of wash my hands of it and say, great, now it's done. But that has not been the case at all. And a lot of times, whenever I finish editing a video, then that means that Devin has more work to do because then she's adding it onto our social media pages, trying to get it out there that, hey, we've published a new video. And so once you get it done, you really want to start sounding those alarms and sending out the notifications that, hey, a new video is up and we hope you'll go and watch it.
Yeah. And I think that kind of leads us into our final logistics thing that we've learned. And that is that really, if you get your SEO, so search engine optimization, if you get all of that right, the YouTube algorithm is actually very beneficial. So I kind of underestimated just how many views would come in off of YouTube from the beginning. So when we posted our Puerto Rico food tour video, that was our third long form video. And YouTube pushed it out to over 20,000 people in the past week and a half. And so that's pretty amazing, you know, to think about the YouTube algorithm giving us that. But there was a lot of work that went into getting the YouTube algorithm to pick it up. So as soon as Phil finished the video and we got it rolling in terms of getting it uploaded and stuff, I had to create a thumbnail, you know, something that captured people's attention on their homepages, and then really had to formulate a title that matched up with what people would type into the search bar on YouTube. Since YouTube and Google are owned together, it really is a search engine, and it is recommending videos based on what people specifically type in. So you want, a title and a description that really match up with what people are going to be searching for. And it takes a lot of time to put in the links and stuff to the description, and also to write out all of the timestamps to make sure that as people are watching your video, they can easily move to the portions of the video that are more specific to what they're searching for.
Yeah, and we really haven't figured out all of the algorithm stuff, and it's still one of those things that we're learning about. So sometimes it's not going to hit in the ways that you think that it will, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
So be prepared if you are getting into YouTube. The algorithm is really something that you want to try to work with and not try to work against it. But I think that that's something that, overall has gone pretty well for us, and we're still hoping that it will continue like that.
Yeah. That being said, our last video was a Costa Rica food tour, and it just hasn't performed as well as the Puerto Rico food tour by kind of a lot. So there's still pieces we're figuring out. We posted that video much later at night, so we're not sure if that had, played a role in it. But I think that there's just so much that goes into all of this, and we've been very grateful for the pieces that we've learned thus far. So if you are a YouTuber or a content creator and you've learned some other things, please let us know in the comments, because we want to learn from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and give us a like. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Because like we said, it makes a huge difference for us.
Yeah. And we want to be producing travel content, but we also want to be producing some of these things that just kind of help other people who are maybe just one step behind or a month behind, in starting that journey too.
Yeah. So if you have other things you'd like to see or would like to learn about from us, who are just two very small travel creators, we would love to engage with you in some kind of way. So leave a comment, shout out to, whatever it is that you'd like to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And hit that subscribe button.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll see you next time.
Bye.